This is WBSM On Demand.
Like a conquering champion. He's back. He's back. My friend and yours, the chairman of the Trump campaign, Tom Hodgson. It's got to feel good, Sheriff.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's a great day, and it's a renewal, not just for America, I think, but for all Americans. It's an opportunity for us all.
So many great people got together to support Donald Trump under tremendous pressure to drop him, to turn their back on him. You led the charge here in Massachusetts behind enemy lines.
Yeah, it wasn't a difficult thing to do because I think most people in this election felt that they were personally being impacted by the drastic policies that were put in place by the previous administration, by Biden and Harris, and they didn't want any more of it. And it's interesting, Chris. I told everybody last night when I was speaking. We had like over 400 people at the victory party at White's, and I said, I couldn't have been more proud to have the opportunity to work with so many people, not just our leadership team,
right,
but everybody that was in that room, because they were there because they cared about their neighbors. They cared about what the future would be for their kids and their grandkids, and I think we saw that across the country. They finally realized, wait a minute, this isn't about politics anymore. It's about people.
We saw it particularly here in Bristol County. Tom, Bristol County was the only county that Trump won in the state behind enemy lines. Like I said, talk about how you did that here in Bristol County.
With a lot of great people who volunteered their time. We had a team down at the DeMello International Center.
Right. They're great.
They're there. And they're there all week this week with a big thank you sign with Donald Trump. It says, President Trump thanks you. And they're just devoted people who really care about America, care about their communities. And we got involved in Trump Force 47. We had volunteers go down and spend hours on the phone calls to battleground states. We were out signs. I mean, people putting up signs all over the place.
Amazing.
Paul Gonzalez in Acushnet, he was unbelievable. We call him the sign king. He's
amazing.
Yeah, just it really was, and the energy was wonderful to watch people who really cared about America.
Yes.
You could hear people say, we just can't go through this again for another 4 years. We just can't do it. And that was kind of a cry for a better tomorrow for everybody. And they knew we were better than where we were, and that we could get there with Donald Trump. We already all saw that in the past.
Tom, what's next for Massachusetts? In other words, we have a governor, you've tangled with her, who has led the resistance since she was the Attorney General to Donald Trump's very sound policies on immigration. And today, because of her actions, we are living under a state of emergency.
Yeah, and that I think that's going to end because it's not something that the people of Massachusetts are going to continue, and nor will President Trump allow it to continue. He's concerned at the grassroots level about these very things that are happening to people. These kids getting kicked out of a community center by a governor who's supposed to be protecting these kids,
right,
and saying, no, I'm sorry, we're going to take care of the lawbreakers that come into the country because they need a place to sleep. Well, no. They had a place to sleep. It wasn't here in America, but it was in another country, and if they wanted to come here, then they needed to do it the right way. And we're going to see the reinstatement of the rule of law, which got really diminished in so many ways when we were...
It could be the president.
Yeah.
The deportation schedule, these people got to go.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it.
But I think our state government and some of our local elected officials are going to try to resist the president.
Well, God help them. Because you know what? They're not just going to be resisting the president. They're going to be resisting the population in this Commonwealth who are sick and tired of having crime in their communities as a result of illegals, the extra cost, waiting in hallways, because you know what that's like.
Of course.
You try to get admitted to the hospital, and you're waiting in a hallway for 3 days because you can't get a bed.
That literally is my story.
Yeah, yeah. And our medical system is overwhelmed. And people that are doing the right things, who are here, our legal residents and the American people, are the ones that are being given a burden so these politicians can take care of what's right for them politically, not what would be right for them by doing the right thing for the people that they were sworn to protect.
We have Tom Hodgson. He's the chairman of the Trump campaign here in Massachusetts. When did you first realize, Tom, because I was home, I wasn't at the Whites, that this was going the right way.
I think right around probably 9:30, 10 o'clock.
That
momentum,
early?
Yeah, I thought the momentum was clearly just continuing to climb. Mm-hmm. And as we got up to around 10:30, 11, it was pretty certain we were going to be on the winning side.
We haven't heard from the vice president. Do you think she's gone back to Canada?
No, I'm told. Yeah, I'm told that she's asked for the press to come 4 o'clock at the vice presidential home there in Mass Ave, and probably she'll be doing something then. But you know what? There's no contesting here, and everybody knows it. Why not heal the country immediately and just say, hey, congratulations,
yep.
and show that you still could be a leader, right. And say, you know what, it didn't work out, but you know what, the people have spoken, and it's time. We all have to believe that we want America to be better, and this is the choice you've made. So congratulations to the winning team. And that's the way it should be.
Do you think she'll come out wearing a Make America Great Again hat? I mean, I know the president said he'd get her one.
Yeah.
Do you think she'd wear it? Because she started to endorse a lot of his policies as she saw the election slipping away.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty unbelievable. But no, I think I'm hopeful that when she does come out, she will be humble. And
well, she certainly was humbled last night.
Well, she was definitely humbled, but we hope that
whether she realizes it or not.
Yeah, we hope that she won't come out with any kind of a sort of negative concession. Make it positive. You know, that's what everybody wants. That's why you saw this vote, Chris.
Right.
People want this now to be a new America. You know, it's a time for renewal for our nation. It's time for renewal for us as a people. And she has that opportunity to do that in her concession speech.
Tom, one of the most annoying things during the election was having her supporters correcting people, including myself, on how to pronounce her name. So I've settled it. It's just pronounced loser.
Yeah.
It's just pronounced loser. Tom, we can celebrate the election at the Profile Tavern. No better place because Trump won overwhelmingly in East Freetown. But really, the Republic won overwhelmingly in Freetown, my old hometown. The Profile Tavern serves up the coldest, frostiest beers around, just the way a good American tavern should in Trump's America. So if you heading out, if you're already in Freetown, stop by the Profile Tavern to get a beautiful ice-cold beer. Now, if you're not in the mood for beer, they do have cocktails as well there at the Profile Tavern. Now, you can't drink alone. You got to eat, right? So you'll find brisket, ribs, chicken, you name it. The smokers fire up nice and early, guarantee the best slow-cooked meats to go with your ice-cold beer. I was just out there, Monday. I was out there at the Profile Tavern on Monday with Fairhaven's own Lieutenant Kevin Kobza. He had the pizza. It looked really good. I had the salad with grilled chicken on it. They've got a totally great American menu out at the Profile Tavern. They're open lunch and dinner daily, right? Daily for lunch and dinner. They're open on Sunday for brunch. Amazing brunch out there. Located right off Route 140 in East Freetown. Take the Chase Road exit, the Profile Tavern. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. If you want to speak with Tom, he's here in the studio. Give us a call.
I'm still alive.
That's right. We're still alive, Tom. They tried to hang him. They tried to hang him, but he never gave up.
Yeah, you know, and you have to believe
he persisted. Right?
Yeah, and you have to believe that when you look at over the course of this campaign and the things that happened with President Trump and the lawfare and all the things that they were doing to try to keep him from moving the country to a place where there's accountability, where federal government isn't blown out of proportion with numbers and of people being employed there, and all of these things that they've done to build this monstrous government.
Right.
They were, the fact that we were in a situation where
friends of yours. Yeah. Trump flags flying around the parking lot. That van. Oh, it's beautiful. I love seeing those flags.
Yeah. Well, people are happy to celebrate.
They really are.
And they should be.
They should be.
It's a great day in America. But when you see that the things that happened with him over the course of this election, you start to realize that people I think many people believe there was clearly a divine intervention.
Yes.
In regards to how we got where we are, for a man to be able to have the focus and the energy and the commitment and to overcome, the assassination attempts that could have taken him out of his game mentally and of course physically if it were a worse situation.
A bullet can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was shot in the head.
Yeah. And imagine how traumatic that would be for any of us. But this is a man that saw that as an opportunity to double down and say, our commitment, my love for America is much greater than this incident. And he was able to focus and continue to focus because he really loves America and believes that he has a responsibility and an obligation at this time in history to move our country back to a better place. So for all those reasons, I think this was meant to be.
Right.
And if you ever had questions about faith, it certainly this was a time where it was a time to really think and renew sort of your thoughts around, the divine interventions that happen in our lives.
We saw the president shot in the ear on national television, and then we saw another assassin be captured by Secret Service. I mean, back-to-back assassination attempts, and people died for their political beliefs.
Yeah,
they were murdered.
Yeah, and because he dared to stand up, and it all started when he said, Chris, and I know you remember this, I'm going to drain the swamp.
Right.
And when he said that, he was basically telling all those establishment people, those incestuous, institutionalized people in Washington,
Liz Cheney,
the game's over. Right. This is a government by and for the people, and I'm a business guy, and I'm not going to allow you to take advantage of the people who blindly trusted you when you went in there and then use it for your own benefits, which is what's happened down in Washington. It became a very broken place. Now we have a House and a Senate from the same party. People should be very critical and watching how that's going to work.
Yes.
And this is our chance. We haven't had it in a while. Let's hold everybody accountable. Our party, the Republican Party, to work together, move quickly, and fix these problems. And I think they will.
We're going to have President Trump will soon be putting his people into the Justice Department. We'll have a new U.S. attorney here in Massachusetts. There'll be a new U.S. Marshal. There'll be a lot of things that are going to happen with the new 4-year administration of Donald Trump. So the question on a lot of people's mind is, what's Tom Hodgson going to do?
I'm gonna continue to do whatever life sort of directs me to do.
Okay.
I've never really been a guy who sort of was ever looked for things. I mean, I've worked with the president, and I'm one of these people that believes that. I mean, I wanted to make sure this happened.
Yes, I know.
And I know we all.
As much as I try to put stuff on your agenda, you say, Chris, I'm focused on the president.
Yeah. And I still am.
I know you are.
So I just talked to one of the undersecretaries today, who was giving me a shout that I worked with back then, and we were talking about, reminiscing about how much we were getting done on the border and things like that. And so I will continue to, do whatever I can in whatever way I can.
Tom, I know you've been very busy, but did you see Nurse Dan Sullivan's results in the race against Congressman Keating?
I did not see it.
We'll talk after the show. It's very interesting considering the lack of funding and time he had to put into the campaign. Nice enough guy, and I think Bill Keating survived on a legacy.
Yeah, probably. Which is what's happened with a number of these people.
Right. So, Tom, I would say, as I said it early in the program, we're going to be ground zero for the resistance to Donald Trump's programs. Liz Warren, she's lucky she got reelected. She lost your town of Dartmouth. Yeah. John Deaton won in Dartmouth.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, and frankly, we may be ground zero, but these people that think that they're going to suddenly try to reverse what everybody just said about what they want in this country, God help you, because we're going to hold these people accountable. The Elizabeth Warrens of the world, get on board and do the right thing for people. The days of playing politics and sort of giving us these surface sort of political answers that mean nothing.
Right.
Those days are over. We're in a new time in history, and a new generation of leaders who are going to be able to say, younger ones that are coming on board and saying, no, No. We're starting to see this transformation, and it's so important.
We've got to back the police.
Absolutely.
We've got to back the police because that is going to be one of the vulnerable spots. The next time they get an opportunity, they're going to riot against the police. That is what is going to happen.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to tell you, when President Trump gets in there, they're going to be thinking twice about doing those kinds of things. He's going to reinstate the rule of law. Look, President Trump, more than any other president in my lifetime, is the one person that stepped up for law enforcement. He'd have us at the White House, meeting with us, talking to us, wanted to know specifically, and he was very informed. And he would take these things that we would talk about, and he would turn them into policy that he knew was going to come back and benefit us in our communities, right? He's not going to stand down and allow this, nor should he, and nor do any of us expect them to. We are a country that relies on law and order. If we aren't safe and secure in our communities, we can't have a democracy. We can't have a republic.
Right.
And so it starts there. And then everything else builds from that. Because, as you know, Chris, crimes happening in communities affect business. They affect people's livelihood. It affects people's mental state. They don't want to leave their homes.
Right.
All these things. And this is America. We're the greatest country in the world. And how dare we allow anybody to sort of take those things away for political reasons?
Right.
So that's not going to happen. We're going to get back to the basics again and what our forefathers passed down to us.
508-996-05. You can speak with Tom if you'd like. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, fellas. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but I took a deep breath this morning of the air. I think the air's a little bit cleaner this morning. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah,
it feels fresh. It feels fresher to me. So, but I didn't get stay up that late. I mean, I did as much as I could. I stayed up till like 12:30. I usually get to work for like 4:30, but. I got in at 5, but I had to go to bed. I'm like, these shenanigans look like they're going to stop with Milwaukee, and then they said something about more ballots coming into Philadelphia. I said, you know what? I got to get my sleep because I got to go to work in the morning, like a lot of people, right? So, but I just can't wait to see Trump, start cleaning up the mess that was made by Biden and Harris. And first thing, whatever he deems that has to be done first. I'm sure there's a lot of first, whether it's 1A, 1B, 1C, and start cleaning up the mess from these crazy people that want to turn our country into communism. Because I feel like I'm invigorated. Only with 4 hours sleep, it feels like I ran a marathon. Because I can imagine what Trump feels like, and everybody else that wants to get the ball rolling. But so I hope he. Starts getting things going in the right direction again and make this country great again. If everybody will respect us. I mean, look what you had, Chris. You were talking about what was it, a Catholic professor or something like that?
A professor at one of the Catholic universities sent out an email telling their students they could have the day off with her permission to deal with the election results.
So, I mean, look at the idea. You're treating young adults or whatever like that. That all started. Remember the days of all participation trophies? Hey, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and they're never going to learn. And some of these people are going to stay home. The kids are going to stay home. These young adults are going to stay home because they don't know how to win and lose. I mean, hey, we lost in 2020. Whether were there shenanigans then, I don't know. But you know what? There was 4 years of misery. You know what I mean? I do okay for myself. My girlfriend does okay for herself. We do okay. You know what I mean? I'm fortunate. My house is paid for. You know what I mean? And but I go out to dinner and I go here, go there. I'm like, wow, I got to pay this. I got to pay my taxes. And Chris, I'm going to ask the mayor one more time. I'm going to put him on the spot one more time and see if now this has happened, if he's going to go up on the taxes on the citizens of New Bedford. And you guys have a great day. Enjoy this victory.
Thank you, my friend. Tom, he brings up a good point. You and I have talked about it. Out of this successful political movement, there's going to be new leaders, right?
Yes.
Young people, older people, people who are young to politics, who want to get involved. You moved here decades ago now, and got yourself elected to the New Bedford City Council.
Yeah.
Talk about how someone has to take this momentum of this win. If they've been active in the party and active in the Trump campaign, that they could be a selectman or a city councilor or a state representative.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Chris. So many people, people oftentimes will run for a higher office, but I've always believed. I know Charlie Baker. I know Sheriff Cousins, other people in the state. So they all started their careers at the municipal level. because it's a great opportunity for you to get exposure of how to run, really get an understanding. Government buy-in for the people that's closest to the people is actually the most effective, and it's a great way for you to really learn. And then you learn how to run for the office. You also learn how to serve in the office, and then you move on to the other places. This is a great opportunity to do that. And to the caller's point too, Chris, I think it's something really important. The difference between perhaps the current administration and now when President Trump steps in, he's talking about that professor and so forth. You're gonna see a more mature administration about those kinds of issues.
Right.
That no, it's not okay to let kids off because they may be traumatized by the election. That's ridiculous, and it's really outrageous. But the bigger point is, what I think you're going to see President Trump do, for all the things they said through this, if he gets in, he's going to go after this one, and now that isn't him. I know them. He is not going to do that. He's going to focus on the government, the business of the people, to make sure that we get benefits, not personal attacks. He's not personally going to go after certain people. Would he have a right to after everything they tried to do to him? Of course he would. But that's the difference between them and him. He's more about what I do has to be about for the people that put me here. If I get sidetracked, I'm not going to be doing those things, and I'll fail. And that's how he is.
508-996-0508. The chairman of the Trump campaign, Tom Hodgson's here in the studio. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, good morning.
What's happening?
How you doing, Chris? Sheriff Hodgson, I want to congratulate you for all your hard work that you put in the state of Massachusetts. I mean, I know you put in a lot of time, and I want to commend you on that. And the question I have is, how did we look as a state from 2020 and voting in 2024 as a Republican?
We made progress. I believe we were at 31%. I think it's 39. Is it 39?
I think it's that.
I think it's around 39 now. We made incremental improvement, which is significant and good, because it means people are moving in a different direction, and it's an opportunity to get balance at the State House, where God knows we need that. And let me just thank you for your nice comment. But I was blessed to have the opportunity to serve as the chairman. And it really was about all the people that I had the opportunity to work with. These volunteers and these people on our leadership team were amazing people, committed, dedicated, who were giving all of their time, meetings on Thursday nights for 2 hours by Zoom all across the state. These are people that went out and got Senate captains and worked it and encouraged people to get out to vote. And we saw great responses. We talked about earlier on Bristol.
Yes.
Bristol won. Is the only county that won for President Trump. But it's a real tribute to the people who
you won Fall River, right?
Yeah, won Fall River. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And I don't know about the other towns. Probably Acushnet too. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the cities and towns yet.
We'll drill down on them later.
Yeah, but the long and short of it is, caller, it really is a great victory for the people and all the people who gave it their time and will continue to move the country forward and support President Trump as he
Thanks for the call.
reclaims America.
508-996-05. I just think it's so important, Sheriff, that people who got motivated and learned about politics through the Trump campaign now take those lessons, political lessons and values, into the local realm.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this before, Chris. Our kiosk down at the DeMello International Building in the lobby. Those guys who were there every day, 9 to 5, and girls, and they said, Sheriff, can we stay a week after the election just so we can thank everybody? And that's the kind of people that we have who are so invested in.
He's a volunteer.
Doing volunteers and doing the right thing. They're there from 9 to 5, and they're amazing people, and they represent a lot of what we're seeing across America and the people that voted for President Trump and want America to be a better place, and they're willing to put the time in to do it.
I look at the open representative seats that were around. The Democrats prevailed here in Fairhaven, but over there in Westport and the Acushnet, Freetown, that district, that election's still up. And either way, when you add up the votes between the independents and the Republicans in that race, it's a significant victory for conservatives.
Yes, and that's big. and I think you're going to start to see, and these people in the majority up at the State House, they should have their eyes open now because we are going to get balance, and that's not said in a vindictive or mean way. It's that we need balance and no more. Hey, I'll stop in the State House, when I get a chance or whatever, because President Trump's going to set the sort of blueprint around accountability in government, and that doesn't just mean the national government. When people start to see how that's working, they're going to compare it against the state government.
Absolutely.
And are we doing the same things, or are we sort of seeing something very different where people are lazy and don't really care, and they're pushing their own agenda, not the people's agenda?
We have Tom Hodgson here in studio. Tom, as we were pointing out earlier, the illegal aliens are among us here. So Donald Trump is going to have to come into the state of Massachusetts with his federal government to deport these people. So the local governments are either going to go along or they're going to resist.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that they would try to resist, but perhaps they could. You
don't think Governor Healy?
Governor Healy will probably try to. But let me tell you something. Look, we've already seen what Governor Healy was willing to do, and it's not in line with what people want.
Right.
People want to be safe, and they want to be treated fairly as Americans. It's not their responsibility. We're not anti-immigrant.
No,
we're pro-law.
Your father was an immigrant.
Yeah, but we're pro-law, and people coming into this country need to follow our laws.
Right.
And when we say as elected officials, you know what, we'll pick and choose who has to follow the law and who doesn't. Now you've gone over, you've crossed the line.
Right.
And unfortunately, we have so many in Massachusetts in the legislature who have done that, and frankly, just basically, shunned the people that they promised they'd protect and swore they would protect. To the benefit of the people that shouldn't be here, that they're supposed to prevent from impacting the American.
That's why
people in Massachusetts.
A Make America Great Again U.S. attorney here in Massachusetts, a hand-picked candidate in consultation with my friend Tom Hodgson to enforce federal law here in the state of Massachusetts.
Yes, and you're going to see DHS, the ICE operation, as well as CBP is going to finally be able to go back and do the work instead of sitting around like secretaries processing people when they should be out there in the communities, getting these people out of our neighborhoods and preventing them from taking over our apartment buildings and everything else.
It's crazy what's been happening around the country. Yeah. We're living under a state of emergency. It's crazy. Folks, let's go right back to the phones. We've got full phone lines. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning,
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Great, actually.
Tom, I want to say thank you, Tom, for hosting that party last night, that watch party. That was just a great time. I was happy to attend it. It was exciting. A lot of fun, a lot of great people, and it was a good cap off to a campaign because I was able to I was fortunate to be able to and then help out and do a lot of the standouts and stuff all during, for the past couple of months and everything. I only wish that the results came in a little bit sooner because it would have been really, really fun to have that excitement of have them follow the race in Trump's favor.
Well, if that was the case, whites would have had to probably put on a new roof because the place would have gone nuts and blown the roof off.
Yeah, just seeing some of the electoral vote, some of the changes in the numbers was exciting enough, But
yeah.
But I came home and sat down and watched Newsmax, and I saw them call it about 1:30 or so, and waited for. I waited up and watched Trump's speech. I didn't get to bed till like 3:30.
Same with me.
It was worth it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I figured as much. We're all in it the same way. So what are we doing today? We're taking a victory lap. We earned it.
Yes.
I know we all. And that's all I want. All I really want to do today is I'm just kind of absorbing it. You know what I'm doing right now, to be honest with you? Something I've never done in my life. I just turned on The View because I wanted some entertainment.
I have to admit I was watching MSNBC this morning.
They must have a lot of tissues on that table.
Explode or something, But something, I still can't even watch it. I just had to turn it on. I don't know what it is, but you know what? What we are going to do, and I know there's a couple of you were mentioning some stuff about the local politics and about these younger, getting some younger people involved, the younger conservatives. Tom, you have in your own fold the people, the people that volunteer in your organization. And I'm gonna drop a name because I want to. I've spoken personally with him, with Chester Tam. He's such a great force on your campaign. I really think he helps out so much. He does a lot of work, and I think he's got a real future in politics. And I think he should really. I think he's going to help out. I think he should get involved right there. And I've spoken with him, and he's got a desire to.
Yeah, and we've chatted about that. And and congratulations.
You know what, you yourself, I really appreciate everything you've done, Tom.
You know what, I was blessed to have the opportunity to work with everybody, and it's just it's just great to be here today, to be able to enjoy the excitement and know that everybody's really worked hard at it. And to your point about staying up till 3:30, you're doing what Donald Trump has been doing for us every day for God knows how many days over this entire campaign, where he's up doing three rallies a day, even up till the day before the election, and so you're kind of exemplifying what I think he's done, and I think that I'm sure means a lot when if he could ever hear you talking about it, that people were willing to stay up that long because he did it, and we appreciated it.
I couldn't go to bed for that reason. I said to myself, something, we've gone this far, and Donald Trump, he does those. For the last week, I know I've spoken to so many different people. I said, this man is out there doing 3 rallies a day, the stamina. Yeah. I even said it last night. As a matter of fact, I was fortunate. I was sitting there, and the young woman from Channel 10 came up to me, asked me if I wanted to get interviewed, and I accepted, and I did a short interview with the Channel 10. I never got a chance to see it or anything, but that's one of the things that I spoke about, was the fact that that man has got more stamina than anybody I've ever seen. All he's gone through, all he goes through constantly.
Yeah. I'm hoping he doesn't start doing like 100 push-ups. I mean, I think I could stay up late, but if he starts doing 100 push-ups and I got to live up to that, forget it.
We're going to take a break, folks. If you're on hold, stay there. We got one phone line open. We'll be right back. The Republicans, Jim Justice, ironically named Jim Justice, appropriately named rather, won the U.S. Senate seat there. Carter's Clothing and Footwear, they've been in business, owned and operated since 1947. That's 77 years. Covering all your work and casual clothing needs. They have great reputation. The owner is often on premises down there. Carter's Clothing and Footwear, they're located in downtown New Bedford and in Fall River. 55 William Street in downtown New Bedford, 288 Plymouth Avenue in Fall River. Consistently friendly, helpful customer service from staff at both locations. Free parking at both locations. They're open 7 days a week, extended hours on holidays. Carter's Clothing offers a wide variety of clothing from head to toe, including socks, hats, gloves, thermal underwear, outerwear, work pants. I know Hank Turgeon buys his thermal underwear there for his police details. Carter's offers over 75 different styles of work boots. Carter's Clothing and Footwear. They are top name brands at prices. You can't really beat those prices there. And I know that Scott Lang gets all his Christmas presents there. So it's not too soon to start thinking about shopping for Christmas at Carter's Clothing and Footwear. And if you don't know what to get, just get a gift certificate. Shop Carter's Clothing and Footwear. Tell them Chris McCarthy sent you.
I'm going to have to put my order in with Scott Lang.
Put it in with Kevin Carter. He doesn't send you Christmas gifts?
No, but I'm going to put my order in with Scott. Say, Scott, here's what I'd like to have for Christmas.
He'll buy it.
Actually, go to Carter's and get me this.
He's a very generous guy. He might do that. 508-996. You're on the air. Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, Tom. How are you? Can you hear me?
Paul,
how you doing?
Hey, na. Hey, goodbye, Kamala. It was such a bad candidate. But you know what? These people are upset, guys, right? That, Trump won. Are you kidding me, guys? Your life's going to be better for the next 4 years. You're going to have more money in your pocket. The economy's going to probably prosper. We probably might have peace in the Middle East. What a bad life we're going to have. Maybe we'll pay $3 for a carton of eggs again or $2 for gasoline because we're going to drill, baby. And the thing about the border would be secure again. The Border Patrol I'm not going to say they're going to want to leave. Now they're going to probably have a hiring boom because President Trump is going to come back in office. The head of the guy down there, the board, will probably get back to that position again, and we'll be good. But these people are going to be crying because Trump won. No, they're going to have a better life, guys. They're going to have a better, prosperous life. They're going to be able to maybe buy a house in the next
It's all
2 or 3
true.
years.
It's all true.
Wow.
I've been kidding some of my Democrat friends, state representatives, saying Trump is going to make your life a lot easier because he's going to kick these people out that you are forced to spend money on, and you'll get your own priorities back.
And you know what would be really great as part of a new beginning in the country is if the people who supported Harris, granted they're disappointed, but instead of being angry at the people who won, be supportive and say, we're looking forward. You all have said that this is going to happen, and we're going to be looking forward to that.
Accept
and
the election results.
Yeah, accept it. Respect the fact that we made a choice, as you would expect us to respect your choice if you had won.
Yes.
And when we can get back to individual respect for each other, we're going to be an unstoppable nation in just about every facet of what we do as a country.
You know who is stoppable, but they are worth listening to here on WBSM is the New England Patriots. They're going to have they lost to the Titans, but they're going to take a step forward in their development while remaining in the hunt for the high draft picks. Right. So this week the Pats are heading to Chicago to take on the Bears. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Pre-game on WBSM begins at 10 a.m. Patriots against the Bears, the New England Patriots all season long, right here on WBSM. Good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on with the Sheriff.
Is that me?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Sheriff?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just want to thank you, too, for all the services you did for the prison and all the years you dedicated there. You did a really fine job.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. I was, again, blessed. I mean, here I'm a Republican in the biggest Democrat enclave in Massachusetts, and it just goes to show you that people, instead of getting involved in the politics, talk to the people about what matters. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to have so many people give me that, honor me with their trust to run that operation, and so I appreciate your kind words.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, honestly, you did a great job. And I just want to say, saying what you said before, it all starts out with the grassroots. It starts out with the little things and getting it bigger and bigger. I have a Facebook page, a Cushion It for Trump. We started 10 years ago with 30 people. We have hundreds and hundreds of people now on that Facebook page. And I just want to congratulate the people of a Cushion It because Trump won a Cushion It by 73%. And it was an outstanding night for some of the towns in the Massachusetts and cities that voted for Trump. I think it's a big step forward.
Well, Paul Gonzalez, I mean, he got so many signs out there. You couldn't help but believe that it was going to be a big number, and it was. And thanks to all the people who did put signs out in Cushing. I think you guys owned it.
Thanks for the call, my friend. Hank Turgeon, what do you have to say?
So I just crashed the studio.
Yes.
And I apologize for this unannounced visit, but I felt obligated to come in here after 37 years of law enforcement.
Right.
I was the union president for 9 years, and I tried to impress on the public. When you see a cop out there, you stop and thank them for what they're doing, especially behind the scenes. When you're sleeping at night, cops are out there keeping you safe. I felt obligated to come in and thank the two of you because you two fought for the silent majority. You two were out there, and obviously by the poll numbers, by the number of votes that Trump got, 5 million more than he got last time?
Yep.
You guys definitely fought for the silent majority, and I can't thank you enough. And I didn't want to call it in because, Chris, you'd be quick with the trigger finger.
I got a lot of calls.
Sheriff, the team you put together was remarkable, and it's a small little example of what Trump's doing, the team he's putting together to make sure this nation goes in the right direction again. So, gentlemen, thank you both very much.
Well, thank you. But, people like you were the kind of people that we had as part of this campaign, and that's how it happened. I think Chris would probably agree that it wasn't really about us. It was about people like you, and you were out there. You were doing the right things for us, and all the people, not just in the police department, but all the other people in the community you've known over the years. You have great influence with them too. So those are the things that really, built the win, and as we talked about earlier, Bristol County was the only county that won. And it was because of people like you, Hank. Really.
So awesome. I'm gonna be behind this.
And your father, who was a big. He was
fantastic.
Great. He was great.
I'm gonna be behind this microphone, doing what I've been doing for years now. Hopefully in the future. But you guys, everyone's wondering what Hank Turgeon and what Tom Hodgson are gonna do for the next act.
I don't know. You want to do a comedy thing?
Yeah, I was thinking the Three Stooges.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll take a break. McCarthy, we have the chairman of the Trump campaign in Massachusetts, Tom Hodgson, here in studio. We got full phone lines, Tom. Everyone wants to talk to you. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to say thank you to both Tom Hodgson and, Chris Berry, Ken, the people at WEEI that have been firm supporters. And I'm going to make this quick because I want to hear Tom's answer. But if given the opportunity, would you take a position controlling something to do with the southern border?
Well, I know a lot about the southern border, of course. Going back to the days, in fact, one of the NBC 10 reporters was saying, you were talking about having the inmates build a wall.
Yep.
And so I guess my answer would be that, I would have to look at anything, obviously carefully, take a lot of things into consideration. I got grandchildren, I got,
right.
But also there's if there's a calling for something that you could do for your nation, it's something you have to seriously consider. But I'm not looking for anything. Let's put it that way.
508-996-0500. Let's go back to the calls. Good morning. Thank you for holding.
Good morning, gentlemen. I just need a minute. I'm like total euphoria. I'm on 2 hours sleep. Went out, had a big breakfast, a beautiful breakfast. And I just want to thank you gentlemen both. And I'd like to say one thing. I hope that someone appoints you, Sheriff Hodgson, as appointment in immigration in our state. And we need, where they all are. You know how the system works here. I hope they appoint you as a statesman from Massachusetts. And when it comes to our governor, if she doesn't obey the law, they should do what Kennedy did and send federal marshals in. Enough is enough. The rule of law is back. Thank God. We have some kind of hope now. So I hope everybody, and don't worry, people, no one's rights are going to be taken away. People are going to get their rights back. You're going to get your country back. This is a good thing. This is like medicine. It hurts going down, but it's going to feel good when it cures this disease, the woke virus. It's going to be cured, I hope.
Thank you for the call, my friend.
What a great way to put it.
Right?
He's right on the mark, and
he's always a comforting present at the hospital too.
Yeah,
he really is.
But it's great to hear him reiterate the importance of accountability for everybody, and particularly elected officials.
Tom, you and I were just talking about it last Friday about your involvement in deportation in the past.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know how to deport people, what they need to do to go back to their home country. You've been involved in that for decades.
Yeah, and I remember working on that issue with going back to the days of Barney Frank and Henry Hyde on a bipartisan bill. That's when I first started getting involved in Washington with Congress and then of course I've been to the border 5 times, so I know the issue. I've been to the processing stations. I know the impacts from the border, the ranchers down there that I've talked with and so forth, and the impacts on the cattle ranchers and what's going on with them as a result of this. It's really cut into every facet of our society.
We want to thank Jim DeMello for all the contribution he made by letting people use the building. Unbelievable, right?
So good to do that. I mean, DeMello International Center, Jim DeMello, of course, everybody knows he's probably the most generous guy you're ever going to meet.
Right.
Quiet, never looks for anything in return.
Never.
But a man that's really made a significant impact in not only New Bedford but across the state.
If people want to support Trump now, how do they stay involved with the campaign?
Well, that's a great question. As far as the campaign goes, you can still continue to go online with massfortrump2024.com. There'll still be some other things that we'll be posting about that, and we hope the best thing they can do is to join together and get behind President Trump and the initiatives that he's putting forward.
And if people want to join the Republican Party, they reach out to your wife or Bob McConnell.
Right. The state committee people, join the Dartmouth Town Committee, the Mattapoisett Town Committee.
I think, needs one.
Yeah, and Acushnet does.
Yeah. And there's a ton of people out there.
Yeah, and it's a great way for people to get involved in the issues every day. And
we
really
are
important.
out of time. We're out of time. Tom, I really appreciate you making on a couple hours sleep at best, making time for my audience. Stick around, folks. If you didn't make it through, I see a number of you still on hold, but Barry Richard is up next. I'm sure Barry will continue the same line of conversation here, so you can get on hold at 508-996-0500. Stick around, folks. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow.